welcome to the Shelly Studio, and today I am doing a video for Art Joy of Sharing, and it's all about making marks. And so what I'm doing here is showing you some of the things I have. I have a couple of little bins that have random items. That one right there is actually a fondant texture plate thing I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby a while ago. And haven't used it yet, so we'll try that out and see how it works. And then we've got a hot pad, the silicone ones, and some fake foamies. Now these are also they're acrylic rollers, I'm guessing to give texture to fondant. I thought they might work on the jelly plate. They actually are a little slippery with paint, but they have potential. So if you watch through the whole video, I know it's kind of long, you'll see me attempt to use those and see how they turn out. And just showing you, there's some shelf lining, and it's kind of got paint on it, so it's all stuck together. And these are little texture plates that I made, putting molding paste through a stencil, letting it harden, and gives you a little bit of texture. And then some foamy type stamps that I got on clearance, another hot pad, and some homemade, one on the cardboard is a homemade stamp. I think I have a video of how I made those somewhere. If I find it, I'll link it. There's an onion bag, another homemade stamp, and a whole nother bucket full of, you know, circular things. So I've got my plastic canvas, some bubble wrap, piece of plastic tubing, a ribbon roll, little teeny circles, just a bunch of random stuff that I've stashed in there. And we will get to it. When they said, for Art Joy of Sharing, when they said make your marks, I think of jelly plates. So that is what I'm going to do, is I am going to use my jelly plate and just create some prints. Now, I know I did a jelly print session not too long ago, but it's so much fun. So here's that acrylic roller, and see, it just kind of slips around. Doesn't really work very well. But it does leave a mark, and actually rolling it off makes an interesting kind of print on what you roll it off on. Now I am using a speedball gel plate over there to brayer out my paint. I watched, I think it was Gel Press that did one where it was different viscosities of paint and how you could do prints with that. So I thought I'd try it while I was doing this. See, that one didn't make, can't see the marks very well. So I do try doing it, and I don't think I'm very successful. This was my first attempt. Oh, there I'm showing you that one from Speedball. Doesn't work like a regular gel plate. Don't be fooled and buy it. I use it to brayer things off. I've been told that you can use ink on it, and it works pretty well with ink and with speedball paint, but it doesn't work as a regular acrylic paint gel press. So here I'm just wanting to add some color. And so the yellow was heavy body and the blue was more of a fluid paint, hoping to get it to work. It's okay. So like I said, this video is all about making your mark, and I'm going to make a bunch of marks on some gel plates and just play around with different viscosities of paint to see how they work. And if I can find the Jelly Arts video where it shows how they did heavy body paint and then fluid paint, I will link it, because they do an awesome job with it. And you should try it out, and I need to give it a little bit more practice. If you want to just skip to the end, because I know this is kind of long, even though I've sped it up a lot, at the very end I do a flip through of the prints that I make. At the very, very end there are pictures of my favorites, and also near the end I take one print and create a finished piece out of it, and it's a very interesting piece. So I hope you enjoy watching me create different textures and different prints. They'll all become some fun collage fodder, if nothing else. And let me know what you think. If you have any questions about it, please leave me a comment. If you did like it, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and all that fun stuff. And I'll come back and talk to you at the end. So I decided to stamp that foamy onto that piece. It's kind of interesting, little faded flower vignette. I do like blue. I think this print is one of my favorites. I think it turns out pretty good. And I probably show you too much of my rubbing. I rub these really a lot. Let's see. But yeah, I do like that one. Do you like that one? I think that one's cool. And I love the rough edges. And this, at some point, when I'm pulling papers off of that speedball plate, it actually tears the paper a few times. So I have to stop and wash it off. And here's that other acrylic roller. Of course it slips, and I run it across the gel plate, which, if that had been a good gel plate, it would have pulled all of that up. You can still see it on there, and I'll show a close-up at the end, but it was actually kind of interesting. Now, this one, I don't use contrasty enough colors. Like, I used that neon. Neon's really translucent. I had used the pink, and then I add this yellow, which yellow is inherently translucent for the most part. So unless you're looking really close at this picture, you can't see the stamps I made in it. So you'll see here in a second, after I do my 5 minutes of rubbing the paper down. Because I could have edited that. See? Can't really see much. But anyway, it's a fun thing to do. You can just do it, go through tons of paper, do it for hours, and just have a pile of collage fodder at the end. And that flower foamy type stamp, that is like my favorite of my collection of, what do I have, 2, 3 foamy stamps? That's about it. So I even like that one. So that one's goes in the done pile. This one, it's almost too dark, but it's interesting. I can't remember what color that reddish color is. But that and that blue is called like indothyrean blue. Those two colors together are my new favorite. I think I do this print, and then I print a bunch more using this color combinations because I really like how it turns out. Not the print itself, but the colors. Oh my goodness. You'll see. They're like really ripe fruit that you want to just eat because it's so good. See, isn't that pretty colors? Like I said, not the print, but the colors. So pretty. Oh, now this print ends up interesting. I don't know why, but I just put that high flow fluorescent in a couple of spots, and ignore that print. Okay. And it only lifts the areas where I put the high flow pink. Crazy, right? So I decide to add more to the whole thing to lift everything because it looks like it would have been really cool. So this time I do it and I lift it and oh yeah, put something on that side because it's got wet paint on it. There we go. Anyways, I lift it and it's kind of disappointing. Now, if I'd have put the pink on the whole thing at the beginning, I think I would have been happier, but yeah, that one, not so much. Kind of a hot mess. And look at you, diehards. You're the only ones here in my crazy commentary. And by diehards, I mean jelly plate print obsessed people like myself, because I watch all of those. So as you can see, I'm trying to clean off this plate that doesn't want to pull anything. And I really liked that and thought it would look really cool on book text. So I thought I would try it one more time and do it over a piece of book text I have hanging out here. And for some reason I thought I needed a heavy body paint to get it to pull. So I'm going to pull it. And it looks okay. Doesn't pull everything, but it'll make interesting for some other project, some interesting little print. I try to get all the edges, and I didn't, and I just put it back in its container with the paint left on it. I need to clean it off though, and save it for ink, I guess. So now, I thought I would take some of my prints that look like they needed just a little extra something and put a few marks on it. So that's what I'm doing here with some of my homemade stamps. They're just a bunch of circles that were on some packaging, and I just glued them to a piece of foam. And that's just a bunch of Q-tips that I've put a rubber band around and use to smush, smush, smush. Finding something that looks like it needs help. That one will this is just my brayered off paper. Don't think it improved it, but it's okay. We can use it for something. Alright, so I zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully you can see the prints. Some of these are just brayered off pieces of paper. Some of them have potential. Some of them are like, eh. You can't see it, but some of them I did use some color flash paint, so they're reflective. Yeah, that's the one, my favorite. That's the one where you can't see what I did. I think I was pointing out that it had crusty bits. We like the crusty bits. You can see I like my flower. You know, I've had better jelly print sessions, but it was a lot of fun to just play around. If you've never done it before, if you bought that jelly plate and are afraid to use it, just grab some paint and play. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. This can all be used in something else. That one I put on a piece of watercolor that I had cut up. There's my book text, brayered off piece of paper. So I'm going to take that watercolored one and turn it into something. And first I thought it looked like a volcano. You know, because there's kind of a mountain shape. Well, when I turn it around, right now it's upside down. You'll see it. So I kind of watercolor it to look like a volcano, and then change my mind and decide it's a hill with a tree on top. And this is just, I went around the edges with a Stabilo, the Stabilo All, which is water reactive, and I just wet it and blend it. Kind of gives that cool shadow effect. Which is kind of fun. Fun way to frame things. Alright, so do you see the little mountain? And this is Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold. Just emphasizing the hill. And at this point I really didn't know what I wanted to do, so I'm just adding a little of gold paint to the corners. just for fun. And this is just a bit of brown craft paint. I think it was brown. And I was trying to make that look like smoke coming out of a volcano. And then I decide that looks like a good spot for a sailboat. So I paint a silhouette of a sailboat. So does that look like a volcano and smoke? That was the idea. Yep, I'm smushing paint. It's my way of cleaning it up. And I decided to turn that into water for my boat instead of having it be land. I wanted to emphasize the silhouette of the boat, so I'm just taking that yellow, going around it so it stands out a little bit more. So I think this is where I decided that that should be a tree instead of a volcano. I'm just going to do a little wash of blue, trying to even out the sky a little bit. So if you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it encourages you to just give things a try. See what you can find around your house that will make some great marks. You could do it, stamp it onto paper. You don't have to do jelly printing if you don't want to. Repetitive marks are really interesting and a lot of fun. And just about anything you find can make a great mark. I will have a link, hopefully, to the Facebook group Art Joy of Sharing in the description box below. That's who this video is for. And if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.